came from, like, man, if I could explain to a nigga where I come from, bro, like, if you look at my friends' environment as a child, you look at my house, nigga, you couldn't even get in a tub, nigga. It's roaches, nigga. It's like, this is like, we washing up out of pots in elementary, nigga. Like, this is what we used to. Our clothes is on the line, you know what I'm saying? The lights is getting cut off. This is like...
What you heard, yeah. What you heard, What you heard, you can hear a motherfucking thing.
Hey yo, what's up, people? It's your boy Tizzle from Pod Talk About Tizzle. I'm here with Greez, and of course the boy Skinny.
Yeah, man. Hey, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel, man. Also, if you have any music machine, send to the Gmail code 7@gmail.com.
ASAP, man.
And like bro told you, man, we got shit. This nigga damn near a legend now. This
For real.
It's not too many people that don't mention this man. So if y'all don't know who the fuck he is, you ain't from the city. It's that simple, really. Greez, man, let them know where to find you at.
What's happening? Catch me on YouTube, you know, Greez Blanko, Instagram, No Limit Falls, Twitter, No Limit Falls, Facebook, Greez Blanko, you feel me? Let's get it.
All in the wall shit, man. Northtown shit, nigga. Yeah. I lit this shit, went through some shit so I could touch dough. Yeah, I had slipped, gave up my dick, lit bitch got fucked on. The game spanked me, took it, I lit her, make much more. The blade gets slow, I got a line on all my custos. Nigga, my house, an ATM deposits to my front door.
We back in the studio. You got your team, you know. How many artists is in Hole in the Wall?
It's a few. Mainly it's me and Maserati, mainly. But you know, my dog Trelly, he the engineer, he raps sometimes, you know, and then the homies, they like to get in and out. So, but mainly it's me and Maserati though, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
And you said y'all been around for a while, working for a while.
Yeah, it's like 2010, fucking with the Hole in the Wall shit. So, high school.
When I first heard Hole in the Wall, it used to be in the coast. They used to have a hole in the wall. And that's what I thought you was talking about at first. I'm like, oh, he must fuck with the coast niggas and shit. And then we seen BB Maserati, and I was like, nah, I never seen this nigga with the coast niggas.
Right.
So I was like, okay. But shit, we just found out BB Maserati was holding the wall.
Yeah, we just found out
recently when we did the
he just started dropping. He been dropping shit. He was gone for so long, so he been dropping shit. So now niggas know for sure. Cause you can't even deny it when he come on. Cause you know, even though he just, I've been dropping shit longer, but when you hear that shit, it's like you can't deny it. Like that shit be hard. You feel me? You can't deny it. You can't deny that shit. It's like it don't matter. As soon as you hear it, you get familiar with it for sure. He be going.
You can tell y'all been going. You can tell y'all been rapping with each other for a while. Cause y'all like the way he rap. It's like I can tell y'all can feed off each other.
Facts.
So with that being said, are y'all gonna work on a project? Anything?
For sure. We actually working on a project. We probably like 2-3 songs in. We probably gonna do like a 10-song project. It's gonna go crazy though. It's gonna go crazy for sure.
And he got a unique style. You got a unique style, right? And y'all kind of mesh well together.
Yeah,
for real. You could tell, like you could tell y'all been doing it, like Skinny said. When I be listening to him now, it's different because he kind of got like I don't want to say like a New York flow, but he got that kind of different sound. You know what I mean? And that shit dope though. He dope. He fresh. You know what I mean?
I think y'all cadence is kind of the same. You just more aggressive.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. It's just my delivery is probably just a little more aggressive. But we got similar styles as far as like how we set shit
cadence. Yeah, the way y'all set up y'all bars is kind of similar, but you more aggressive. You normally take breaks.
Yeah, for real.
You normally drop something and then you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fade off for a second. You feel me?
Yeah.
But see, that's why, because like when I be doing my music, I really be like I have to go through something. You feel me? Like if I ain't going through nothing, it be like, you know what I'm saying? I be trying to do what I gotta do. So once I go through something, I be like, damn, it's been a hell of a year. So I'm gonna talk about it. You feel me?
Okay.
I'm gonna talk about it because like when I try to sit there and think of songs that people are like, when you just sit at your computer try to write it, be like, what would they want to hear? What would people want to hear? And I feel like that's when I fuck up because I'm making music that I necessarily wouldn't listen to. So I'm like, I know what I want to hear. I want to hear this bullshit I've been going through, you feel me? So, but every time it come out smooth, you feel me? It come out smooth because I be serious. That's why I feel like my music now way more aggressive than it used to be. Like now it be super aggressive because like now I understand it. I understand the pain. Like back then it was just like trying to get it out, really don't know how to say it. But now I know how to give it to him, you feel me? I'm going to give it to him raw every time, oh God.
How long you been doing music?
Shit. Honestly, probably like 8, oh God. So I was like 8. I wrote a song when I was like 8. not a whole song, but that's why I called it my first hip hop song. Oh Jesus! I was like, hey, oh God. Wrote that motherfucker. That's all I used to do as a kid though. Cause I used to be at my daddy's house and shit. When I used to go to my daddy's house, he used to have crates, like crates of just all the music from the 80s, 90s, 2000s. So second, third grade, I got a whole stack of E40 CDs. You feel me? And I know them word for word. That's how I found out about Tupac, Biggie, like being around my dad. You feel me? He had all these crates full of music. So every time I go over there, I go right see what I want to listen to this week. You feel me? That's why I feel like my music was like kind of ahead of its time, because I was like, a lot of people tell me like I'm like an old soul, because that's what I grew up on, all the old shit. Like I was bumping Rakim and you know what I'm saying, all that shit. You feel me? Slick Rick and all that. He had all that shit, so I was able to get a good idea like about music, different varieties of music, real young. I didn't grow up. I wasn't singing the little kid songs. I'm bumping the Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So.
So you had to listen to the full project. It wasn't let me skip this.
Cause I ain't had shit else to do. You feel me? I'll be chilling at my daddy's house, just be bumping. You feel me? Oh God.
When did you start feeling like, man, I can actually do it? You know what I mean? Because I think everybody, music kind of like a storyline in everybody's life. You know what I mean? Like a timetable. Like you can be like, I was going through this with whoever, and this song was popping at that time. You feel me? So what made you decide, like, you know what? I'm gonna actually do music instead of just be a listener or being a fan of it.
Shit, honestly, because I've been rapping for a minute, but when I really started first recording, it was I had my own studio. It was me, my nigga Bobby, rest in peace, my nigga OC. It was right across the desert on motherfucking Gowan, right by the hood. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. My nigga had a spot over there. We used to be in the studio all the time. Rest in peace, my nigga OC. We had a group. It was called $1 Trillion Boys. I used to like write the hooks and all that. I'd go to Cane Springs, let everybody hear it. And at that point, like, it was 3 of us, but I just knew, like, every time we start a song, they come right to me like, bro, let's make the hook. What you got? And I started noticing, like, man, I'm good at this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been rapping, but that's when I knew, like, I could take this shit somewhere. So I started recording. We started recording with our own studio. So ever since then, it's just been shit, trying to be foot on the gas. You feel me?
I always tell people that's how you go from a listener to a fan. When a person says something that's relatable to you and you feel him for real, you can become a fan and be proud of that. Like, man, I'm a fan of Tupac, bro. I'm a fan of Lil Wayne. Because if we seen Wayne go through shit like transition from everybody being super gangster, he rolled whatever wave he had to wave.
Wayne was the first one switching up. He was changing the game. Every time he changed, the game changed.
Wayne was the first comedian in hip hop to me.
On everything, for
whatever
sure.
he was doing, he did it. And then, like you said, with Pac, out here, it's a list of niggas that had classic mixtapes. It's you, Bay Blue, Lil Socks, Landlord. You know what I'm saying? When you name them niggas, they be like, oh, this mixtape.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo Jungle Book, man, listen, that was my introduction to you.
Yeah.
Niggas was telling me about you. Niggas was telling me about you, like, oh man, you ain't heard the Lil Homie. I'm like, cool. And when I first Greez, you know, we're a little bit older than you, so Greez to me was, you know, my homeboy Greez that passed away.
Right.
Rest easy. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, nah, Greez. And then when I listened to it, I was like, oh, this nigga hard. So you have that classic. How do that feel in this city to be like, you know, like, niggas gonna mention you because they have to mention Jungle Book. You probably gotta be one of the first niggas to do triple digits on views and streams with a mixtape. These other niggas was barely getting 10,000.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Shit, I just appreciate y'all for even saying that shit, because keep it real, y'all like the first ones who really acknowledge that shit. Like, of course, my close circle be like, man, but it's not a lot of, well, maybe it's because I'm an introvert. A lot of times I don't hear a lot of stuff, but that's the first time I really heard motherfucker acknowledge that, so I appreciate that for sure. But, like, it was crazy, but it's crazy because I knew it was going to be big, because at the time I was making the Jungle Book, that's when I was the most active. Like, it was every day, every night at that point. So it was like, shit I was saying in my songs, we was in beef. I was had shit in the song, so if nigga know, the nigga know. Like, like nigga, like what I say in the, what I said on that Preach, You remember that song Preach?
Yeah,
I
And
remember.
I was like, if you gonna send a nigga to my residence, make sure you send them hitters. Man, these niggas ain't no killers. I know your mama them be chillin'.
I throw 9 Glocks to the dime block, put the word in there, kill 'em. It'll be a pine box when you chillin'. I send 9 shots when you sittin'. Your bitch ain't bulletproof or invisible. You better high up when we kill 'em. But I won't leave.
God, that shit was crazy, but we was going through so much. It was easy, so it's like you see how now the young niggas, they be like in the industry, they coming out with their little songs, beefing and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was at that point too. Like I was tripping.
You felt the energy throughout the song.
Yeah, I was tripping for sure.
And I was like, when I first listened to you, right, it's crazy because I hear you talk the hustler talk, you feel me?
Right.
People get caught up in the gunplay. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You're a wordsmith. You
Right.
You can tell you're an intelligent person by the way you rap.
Right.
You know what I mean? So anybody can put the words together, but them hustling lines, you feel me? It's different. You have to actually hustle. You feel
You gotta really know what I'm talking about, and
Yeah.
that's why, you know what I'm saying? Because that's why I say I don't consider my music like in the gangster music genre.
Yeah.
I consider it motivational music. Now some songs it might cross the line, but most songs I feel like I'm talking about some money and talking about some positive.
Yeah.
It just sound aggressive, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Because I be letting them know like that's what I most talk about in my music, the hustle. Because shit, that's me, nigga. Like
like I told bro, he was like, when we first heard it, he like, you ever heard of him? Like, man, the first time I met Greez that I can remember, because I know your people and shit.
Right.
You feel me? I've been around them from Cheyenne Point and
Yeah.
Spring Point. But I'm like, first time I met him, I was about a half a pound from the nigga. Right? We met up, I was about a half a pound from him.
So we met up at Smith.
Oh, God.
I remember that, bro.
And that was the first time I had met you. I'm like, bro, Scotty had gave me the line. He's like, man, they got some fire. Boom, boom. It was a transaction smooth, and boom, we kept on going the other way.
Yeah.
I had already been hearing your music, so when I listened to your music, I'm like, okay, bet. The hustling aspect is for sure there. You feel me? Because when a person is your peer or they're around you, you dissect them different than a nigga you would from New York.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of niggas don't be want to let other niggas in Vegas blow up, because they be having certain issues with them. And they be like, oh, he did this. You know, people want to point out your flaws. You feel me? So when I see that, it was like, okay, man, when I listen to your music, it was and I know who you be around. The homies you be around, I know what they be on.
Right.
So you already know where the aggression and all that shit is coming from. So that shit was different for me. Actually hearing a motherfucker like, and then the first time I meet you was on that. You feel me?
Exactly.
That shit
It
was
matched.
Oh my
Like,
God. Basically.
But I'm such a personal person. Like I don't even be like I don't too much be on Facebook too much. I don't get on the ground too much. I'll post something and I dip. Like even with music, I'll post something and I dip because a lot of times I be feeling like, man, it's my business. I want to keep it to myself. Then I be having to remember like, nigga, you an artist. You gotta let that shit out. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm foot on the gas for sure. Like I've been working. Like I got 2 videos I'm gonna show y'all today too. I've been working. I've been going crazy for sure. I got so much shit in the chamber, man.
Yeah, you've been doing your shit, and then like for me when I first heard you, what made me know this nigga can be in the industry was Trap Out with it.
Trap Hard?
On into a trap house, baby, I be feeling trapped out. You got me feeling each day, I need it more and more.
That shit is good, but it's getting heavy right now. Knew what it was, I ain't changing this lifestyle.
That shit, when I first heard that, I was like, oh no. Cause at first I was like, okay. Like when I hear street shit, I'm like, that's easy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I have to hear something else that I felt like come with being a man, period.
Versatility.
Like being a man. So when I heard that, I was like, and I'm a hustling ass nigga, so it just made sense to me.
Facts.
Like this is my type of music. That's what made me know.
I thought that song at work, nigga. I was working at an Amazon warehouse, nigga, and I was like, man, I gotta make a song for the females, but I'm like, I gotta mix it with what a nigga go through so it fit. Cause I don't want to just make a song for the niggas or for the females. I want to make sure it fit. So I'm like, okay, nigga always hustling, trap hard. I'm thinking of that. I ain't had no beat or nothing. I wrote the song at work, and then I went home and I was just looking through the beats, found a beat. And then I went on Facebook scrolling, found a female, you know what I'm saying? Darnisha. Shout out Darnisha for sure. But yeah, she killed that shit.
Yeah, that was one of the ones, man. That's when I was like, okay, he got it. Like he could be something else. So, and that's why me and bro talk about all the time. I'm like, it make me mad when a motherfucker mention Greez and they can only mention when you had a beef or, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, y'all listen to this man music. Like, it's so much more. Than
but a lot of new people was just getting on me after that fake smoke shit. Like motherfuckers like, oh, I heard the fake smoke, and I be like, bro, that's all. Like that's that's like weak. Like I got bodies and shit. Like I got shit that you could feel. Like fuck that shit. That was some real quick shit. Like I got shit that you could feel. But I feel like I was kind of. I ain't gonna say I feel like I was blackballed, but I felt like I was like a lot of people was just cool off me. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like partly the reason was because when I was coming up, like I ain't never like even now like I don't really do songs with people. Like I don't really be. And then it ain't nothing against nobody. It's just I like to protect my shit. Like. When I'm even when I'm with Maserati, we'll be in the studio. I'll be going, and he be like, "Let me get on that." I'll be like, "I don't know about this one." Like, I don't know about this one, bros. I need to express myself on this one. You know what I'm saying? So me, I be liking to do a lot of shit by myself, and I don't like to get involved with like I'm an introvert, so I don't really like I'm uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? But I love being around my niggas. But when I'm around other people, it's like. You know, I got bad anxiety for whatever reason, so you know it just be different for me. But they might take that as like, he think he too good, he don't want to do music with us. But it ain't that, cause I bump nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? I bump Lit Sox, I bump Pee Wee. You know what I'm saying? Landlord, I bump all these people. But it's just like most people you see me on the song with is somebody like I know from some type of hustling days. Like Day Deuce, I know him. Like I was in the View, like I know him. He's seen me growing up. Like that's somebody I'm comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for me to do music with him. Only person I would say I really did music with outside of like my friend circle is like Yada.
As a kid, I wasn't watching PBS, was selling medicine. I work for CVS. They hope I don't bubble like a TB test. Sweep the competition, you gon' see me next. I'm from the gutter, junkie zombies eating flesh. I'm Miss Jalen, man, they lay the G to rest. Let me catch you did it, I'ma leave a mess and watch the money grow like a chia pet.
And he was one of the only people that really reached out to me. Like he reached out to the city and he was like, they was calling me like, y'all want your number? He like, come to the studio. And I can honestly say, man, that's probably one of the realest niggas I ever met in my life, on God, because he let me come to the studio, you know. He'll tell me, pick whatever beats you want, my nigga, I'll make sure you get them. I'm picking whatever beats, it ain't no set time. I'm not coming to the studio and he like, wait, you gotta wait for me. He like, go ahead, do what you gotta do. You wanna be here all night? Go ahead. He ain't tripping. And I'm like, damn, like, and over years, nigga never asked me for nothing. Nigga never asked me for nothing, never, he don't want nothing but to get on the verse. Like, let's do a song. That's why I always appreciate. That's one nigga I can honestly say, because everybody always got something to say about everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's one person I'm going to take up for him for sure, because he ain't did nothing but show a nigga love, and I seen him show a lot of other people love for nothing in return, and that's how you know it's genuine. He ain't trying to persuade you to do nothing. Like, just do your shit. Giving me advice, calling me like, hey, stay on your shit, bro. Do your shit, you coming. You know what I'm saying? Just that motivation, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's a real nigga for sure.
It's dope to hear a person talk about something somebody did real for him instead of something somebody did fake.
It's dope to hear a motherfucker talk about Yada in a dip. Like, you and, I call it Rose Gold because it's Facebook name, but Benzo, you and Benzo, the way y'all spoke on Yada, because you hear so much hate towards Yada in the city.
Because everybody got something to say. Oh, where you from? Where you from? My nigga, well, everybody might not know him, but he been around. You know what I'm saying? He been around. Yeah. So if a nigga just catching on, that's on them. But what he never came to the table with no disrespect, not trying to use nobody. He didn't do nothing but bring his platform and try to lift people up. Yeah. And ain't ask for nothing in return. What else can? And then it's been years. This been 4-5 years, and he ain't. Never asked for none. That's real as a motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying?
But that's Vegas though. You know how Vegas is. Vegas is hard on people, bro. I tell people that, like, if you from the city, Vegas is hard on you. You know what I'm saying? Right. And if you claim in the city, Vegas gonna be extra hard on you. It just we don't got that place like they say Texas is. I hear it's good where you be a black person, you do your thing, and all the black people just.
But you gotta think Texas. Because I love Houston, bro. Like Texas is southern hospitality, bro. Like when you go down south is where it started. So it's like, that's where black people love each other, man. It's good to see another black person. Out here, you be like, man, I need to go over these white folks. I ain't trying to be around these niggas. It's like, we all grew up together. It don't matter if you from over here, from the north, from the east. Everybody went to the same schools. Everybody done been in the same beats. Everybody from the same gangs and cliques. So I just say Vegas, we get a bad rap because we just one little small city. These places is states. You know what I'm saying? These states have way higher populations. We got one city in a whole motherfucking state full of dirt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like one neighborhood trying to make it out, but we all on different corners of the neighborhood and we all got our little circles. But if it was a whole state full of cities, then it'd be Las Vegas versus the other city versus the other city. But it's not like Cali. They got Oakland. And you got the LA niggas, then you got San Francisco niggas. Out here it's just Vegas. So if we had a couple other little cities out here close by, I feel like it'd be the same thing because we'd click up and try to be better than the next city like they do.
Even
You know what
like
I'm saying?
Compton, Watts. I think like with Yada, with everything. Shout out to Yada because Yada did just reach out to us, and I thought that was like I thought it was dope. You know what I'm saying? Like he just out of nowhere just hit me up out of nowhere like what up? You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Yada for that. So I can see what you're saying as far as him being a real nigga or whatever. I don't think Vegas is as bad as motherfuckers make it seem. As far as with the bullshit, I feel like that's just what we highlight.
Facts.
You know what I'm
because
saying?
that's what the industry highlighting right now. If you notice, like, all these podcasts, all these different places, they bringing artists on the shows based off beef.
Yeah, facts.
Like you just got in the shootout as soon as you get there. So what happened to the shootout? And I actually studied a couple interviews and I was really watching to see what they was asking. I noticed y'all didn't ask this man. It's been an hour. Y'all ain't asked this man nothing about his music.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't asked him about his process. Y'all ain't asked him who he got on his next. All y'all talking about is the beef. So now the young niggas that's looking, they like, shit, if I want to get on, I gotta beef. Yeah, I gotta smack something. They like, I gotta do something. But it's like, it's they painting that narrative. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody blaming the young niggas, but the young niggas only doing what people making it seem like they have to do.
The young niggas is only doing what young niggas has always done.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like when we was young, we did it. When y'all young, y'all did it. Young niggas is only doing what the young niggas always done.
A little number.
That's why I think like right now with it being this far in age, like one thing about us starting when we starting out, like I tell bro all the time, like for once we can get love for showing love.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers got love for the hate. Like you get motherfuckers that's big, like you know the academics and niggas like that. That's big because they kept on spewing what was hate and motherfuckers kept like what they want to do, and we run from it.
Yeah, we don't do no diss tracks.
We don't do diss
We
track.
don't review none of them. We ain't do no reaction to none of them. We listen to them. We
Because it's supposed to be an uplifting platform. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do shit like that, you basically saying you're on one side. And it's like, nigga, I don't give a fuck what y'all doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I like the music. I don't give a fuck what y'all got going. You feel me?
And sometimes that shit do bring some good music. It's been shit that we didn't got sit. We be like, damn, this song's so dope.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want y'all to put no diss on there or nothing like that. Cause that shit so disrespectful. That shit.
Yeah.
No.
Because I look at it like
real talent.
the artists we have real talent out here.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like we ain't gotta push that narrative that Chicago pushed or other places push. We ain't gotta push that narrative down here because, like you said, we so small. And even when we get a club that play hip hop music, every neighborhood gotta go to that one club. So it's not gonna last long. What I've noticed with your tapes, your albums, and your growth is every album you try something different.
For sure.
You don't ever just be like, you know what, I'm in this box and that's what I'm gonna be. You always try something different. That Kobe.
Driving to the rack like Kobe. Whole city on a nigga back like I'm Kobe. Everybody wanna see me on like Kobe. They gon' still love a nigga when I'm gone like Kobe. They just let me ball.
Really making sure you have no chance of winning. And he's on the floor. You're talking about a guy with an absolute killer instinct. The Mamba. Strike him again.
Kobe was so live, but it was so creative. You know what I'm saying? Like, you made hustling and everything else sound like a basketball game.
Yeah, for sure.
And if motherfuckers don't pay attention to the lyrics, they ain't even catch that. They just think you just showing love to Kobe. Like, you made hustling.
But see, that's because y'all listen and y'all really like, y'all get in depth of what a nigga be talking about and what a nigga saying, because I feel like that's because y'all want to listen. You know? You want to listen, so it's like, let me hear what's going on. But I feel like a lot of people, when they don't listen to songs or certain artists, it's like, they'll hear it, but they won't feel it because like they don't necessarily want to listen, but they just giving it a try just to say they did, you know? Because out here it's just like, out here I feel like a lot of artists, it's like, it's a kind of a gap between the older artists and the younger artists. I feel like a lot of older artists don't feel like younger artists respect them. You know what I'm saying? They feel like, no, y'all came from us, but you can't deny history. Like I can't deny history like that funeral time, Rico crossing them. I can't deny that. I can't say when I was young, when I seen that nigga, I was turned up. I was turned up. Like, I can't deny that. I can't deny when Pee Wee was coming out with all his shit. And I'm like, damn, this nigga. He was like, Landlord was like the first nigga that I seen like popping. Like, he was trying to be on some industry shit early. This was way back when I was a kid. So I'm like, he was like one of the first niggas in the city that actually gave it a run. You know what I'm saying? So you can't deny these type of things. Like, it's more than them. It's a lot of older artists in the city that put it down, you know, so it's not like a lot of times I feel like a lot of the older artists, they may feel like the younger generation don't recognize like that they put down. So I just feel like sometimes nigga gotta just show them some love too, because I feel like a lot of times it be like, I don't know, like I wouldn't say it be beef between artists, because it's never really no beef. You know, it's love, but it just be like a lot of artists, they won't work with each other, or they'll try to work with each other, and niggas be like iffy, and niggas be like, you want to do a song, and then you'll plan it, then y'all don't do it, then y'all trying, and it's like a lot of people be having stuff in their head like, he fuck with them niggas. I want to do a song with him, but he fuck with them niggas, and it's so much of that, and it just gotta. I feel like at some point it gotta come to an end, but it gotta come to an end with everybody. It can't just be one nigga say, okay, I'm gonna do songs with all y'all, but everybody else, so it gotta be everybody. And if it ain't everybody, then everybody just gotta continue to do their own thing, because it ain't gonna work if it ain't a whole pie. You feel what I'm saying? It gotta be a whole thing, because it is respect for sure. I respect everybody out here. As far as I look, I think we got one of the most talented cities, my nigga. Like, it's a lot of, but me, it's so much personal stuff going on in the city. That's the thing. We all in each other's business. In another city, you'll do a song with a nigga because you don't know what he got going. You just like his music. Out here, you just seen they just exposed this nigga on Facebook. They just posted his baby mama. They just did this, and it's like nigga be like, I don't want to kind of touch that. I don't want to touch that right now because y'all got a lot going on, and I'm living off my name. So you know what I'm saying. So I gotta. That's something I have to protect. You know what I'm saying. So it don't even be nothing like that. It just be like you gotta steer clear of bullshit. You know.
And we've been fucking the same circle of bitches for generations, and the bitches always put it out there.
Facts.
And that fucks up shit. You know what I'm saying. It fuck up shit with different neighborhoods and shit like that. Like, I share a baby mama with this nigga from this side, and get shit like that. And this bitch mad at this nigga, so she gonna put this out there, and then all the bitches get involved. You know what I'm saying?
We just be in each other's business too much.
When we get a post that go viral, you be like, it's niggas from every side on the post. It's bitches from every side on the post. We talking about one person that we don't know, but we know. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know nothing about this nigga, but we know this nigga.
Since you've been rapping a while, right? This is a question I got for you. Since you've been rapping a while, though, right? How do you feel about, like, now you seeing everybody working at them? Like, because, you know, usually niggas was kind of Hollywood. One nigga drop an out song, and this nigga drop one 3 years later. It be 6 months in between when music really drop. And when you see hella posts, like when yo shit drop or sock shit drop, we see hella posts and shit, you know what I'm saying? Even Trey Bizzle. So it's like, now every time you look on the net, even though it's still the hate going on, the conversation is being had now about local music.
And it's more love now.
It's more love. You can feel it coming, man.
I feel like the artists out here is like, it's like now it's going from, it's kind of shifting from, because I feel like at first it was like, oh, that nigga don't do no song with me. Fuck them, I ain't listening to it. That's how I kind of felt the last couple years. Like, if you don't do a song with a nigga, they kind of ain't gonna like your shit. They ain't finna repost it, nah, nigga. Because they think if you ain't gonna do a song with me, you must not fuck with me. But it's just like, so it was like that. But now it's shifting to, oh, you just dropped a video? I'm finna go shoot 2. Oh, you dropped 2? I'm finna go shoot 3. So it's kind of switching to,
now it's
you know what? Fuck the hate. Let's compete. So it's like, it's a good competition though. You know what I'm saying? As long as it stay love. Because like, once, I feel like when I drop, I see a lot of people drop. But it's not like I feel like, oh, niggas is copying. No, I feel like, nigga, I'm turning it up. Let's turn it up, because if I make you want to drop, that's motivation. Because if a nigga make me want to drop, I see a nigga drop something. When a little nigga Jovan be dropping, I'll be like, man, I need to go write some shit, because that little nigga, man, that nigga so hard. I honestly say, bro, I went to the studio with him, man. And I be freestyling. I'm thinking I'm strategic with it. Like, as soon as I go to the studio, I got to process. And then I see him, and I'm like, damn, this nigga natural. Like, this nigga didn't write nothing. He freestyled 3 different freestyles. What? 3 different ones, going through the whole song. I'm like, God. I'm like, all he got to do is tweak it up a little bit. That nigga is so cold, my nigga. And rest in peace to nigga Lucky too, bro. Like, he was incredible, bro. Like, I had just started, like starting to fuck with him, you know. We was getting kind of closer. We was getting closer. I was calling. We went to the studio. We made a song. You know what I'm saying? We was linking up. So it was like, that was crazy when that happened. But I was like, when I really started fucking with his music, I was like, man, he going. I don't care what nigga say, he going, because he's serious. That nigga was doing interviews. That nigga was shooting videos. He was on the road. His shit was looking professional. He stayed clean. He was taking his career seriously, my nigga. Like, that's why that shit hurt. Because it's like, damn, like, this nigga remind me of me. I was dead ass. It seemed like
he was so young.
I didn't see nothing more than he wanted than music. Like I didn't see him doing nothing other than music. Like you would think he was already famous how he moved, bro. Like he was already moving like that. He was going to cities, doing shit, like he was doing his shit.
And when he get to them cities, he was like you said, he's in an interview, he's on a radio station, he freestyling on the radio, he doing different shit, and he just like I was the same way with Lucky, and I tell people this all the time. Like when he first started dropping, he was so young, I couldn't relate to his music, so I didn't like it. As he started getting older, I just started fucking with him more and more, and then I just started seeing how Lucky was one of the ones that you could tell he critiqued himself. Like, damn, I could have did better, and then you'll hear the next song do better. You know what I'm saying? You Lucky niggas like that, and I think, like bro said, with certain motherfuckers, like when you drop, these motherfuckers that's waiting on you. Like when we did our starting 5 list, and motherfuckers didn't see you, you know, they felt whatever type of way, right?
We definitely got some hate on.
And I'm like, listen, y'all gotta, this our partner. Right. You know what I'm saying? So don't think it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is we got a partner. We not saying he don't rap better than you niggas, because we rapping better than a lot of niggas. We feel that way.
Yeah, proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, like, we know what it is.
Are you talking about the recent 5? Y'all?
Yeah, when we did our starting 5. So when we did it, it was so many motherfuckers like Greez this, and I'm like, well, what had Greez dropped now? When Greez started dropping in the year, we got something, like, we forward. But to know that motherfuckers was waiting on you, like you, this year, everybody who motherfuckers was waiting to dropped. And it's dropping. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas was waiting for Lil Sock.
Yeah, the fire's on.
Niggas was waiting for Babe Blue. Now niggas waiting for Greez. Niggas waiting for Landlord. You know what I'm saying? Like 2C just came in here like, I want
2C be showing me hella love. Like he be hitting me up, he be showing me love, he be reposting my shit. That's love for sure.
Yeah,
that's love for sure. That's a cool nigga, man.
When 2C's came in here, he said the same thing. Like, you know, when these lists get made, I just want to be with the best.
Yeah, he said,
you know what I'm saying?
Like some real nigga shit. Like, I don't want your star players being hurt. I want the best to be there. That's where your mind at, though. You can already tell you got an elevated mind frame. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you probably hear you got an old soul or old demeanor. See, a lot of people are so emotional. Like, they hear some shit and they think, oh, well, they ain't fucking with Greez like that. Like, bruh, if the proof ain't there, if it ain't there, it ain't there. Bro got a record label.
Right.
We didn't have none of our people on there. That's our family. You feel me? We didn't even interview one of my little cousins shit. You feel me?
Right.
We just did that. We've been having this podcast for a year. But if a motherfucker not putting in the work, we're not putting them on that pedestal.
And you can't grow being one track minded and biased. You know what I'm saying? Because like I used to be a Jay-Z hater, bro. I used to be one of them dudes that was like, I hate Jay-Z. I don't want to bump that. I fuck with Pac. Strictly based off because Pac ain't like since a kid. But as I got older,
that nigga still like that.
I mean,
but as I got older, I listened from listening to Jay, and I'm peeping the shit he kicking, and I'm like, man, this nigga talking that shit, bro. This nigga going crazy. So it's like lately, I told myself like last month, like I'm studying Jay-Z. I'm on the point in my life where I'm studying his shit. I've never listened to the catalog. So now I've been listening to the catalog, seeing what it's about, because I'm looking at it like, man, this nigga done accomplished so much. How can you deny greatness? I gotta see the blueprint. I gotta see what's to it. You feel what I'm saying?
I tell people like him and Kobe was hard. It was hard for me to like them because I felt like Jay was trying to be big, and I felt like Kobe was trying to be Jordan. Rest in peace to Kobe. But I felt like that. So it was, how am I gonna feel like the best is a nigga that's trying to be like another nigga? That's how I felt. Feel me? But when you get older, you listen to Jay-Z, you realize that's grown man music. You feel me? My mind wasn't elevated enough to listen to Jay-Z back then. You feel me?
Because all I wanted to hear was Pac.
Yeah, you wanted that other shit.
Because you know Pac, he was revolutionary, so he came with that deep shit. But Jay-Z, he was like the same in a whole nother mindset. He was the boss to tell you how to eat. He was the boss to tell you how to dodge the bullshit. And Pac was the one to let's go to war. Yeah. You feel me? So you need both of them, but you got to know when to use them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So whatever Jay-Z did, it was road to $1 billion. Whatever Kanye West did, it was the road to $1 billion. So I'm like, it's a different process. I was just telling myself the other day, like, every year I change my mindset. Every year I say, damn, last year was a cool year. What did I do wrong and how can I improve? And I'm at that point this year. It's like, I'm working on changing my mindset. Like, what opinions do I have and what biases do I have that are hurting me and can hold me back? Even in the field that I'm in, like even how I get my money, where I'm from, I say, man, I have to separate from a lot of things that I thought since a kid. A lot of things that I thought was right since a child. I gotta pick at them. I gotta take them a piece one by one because I know for sure Every niggas look at Jay-Z like, oh, he left Dame Dash, he did this. They look at Kanye like he did this, but it's like you gotta if you know your plan, you can't let people judge man what they think. You can't be like, well, they not gonna fuck with it. You gotta really be like, man, I can go outside and get hit by a bus on blood. I get hit by a bus today, so I'm finna do what I gotta do. And I'm gonna do it my way. You feel me? I ain't gonna do it. And now if you tell me how to do it and I agree with it, cool, because I'm still going off my thinking. But you know, you gotta, if you know what you're trying to do, it don't matter what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I learned. And that's what I get from Jay-Z. Like, they've done bashed him 300 times. It does not matter. It don't matter. You gotta be man enough to go through that first. Because if you can't go through that, you ain't getting to the other end. You gotta have rough skin, you feel me?
Yeah. They say separation is elevation.
What bro say about you all the time when niggas will bring you up is like, you're so intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Like when he said about you and Mills all the time. Like, y'all so smart. And so when y'all creating music, y'all creating songs, motherfuckers might try to dumb it down, but y'all really putting a lot of knowledge into the shit.
Right.
Like you really telling them motherfuckers something.
But that's how I be feeling. Like, I remember I was in the View, and one of the older dudes, one of my older partners, Freak, he was telling me man, he said, man, I really love your music. He said, man, when you spit, my nigga, it make me feel like I'm back in the 90s in the trap, my nigga. I need that shit. And I was like, damn, like, that shit turned me up, because I'm like, damn, I grew up around a lot of, like, when I was coming up, I attached to a lot of older people, you know what I'm saying? So when they give me that feedback from, like, an older generation, they tell me, like, man, you taking me to that place. And I'll be like, damn, because that's my whole purpose, you know? Because, like, my favorite artist right now, honestly, is like, well, my favorite artist for the last 10 years, honestly, been, like, Future. Keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Because it used to be, it was Webby and Boosie when I was growing up, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I always liked the 50 Cent, same artists everybody loved, Wayne, everybody, but, like, Future, for the last 10 years, my brother Quiz, he was putting me on him, like, he like, bro, Future cold. And I'm like, man, that shit, I don't want to hear that singing shit, bro. And then he like, bro, check the catalog, because I was like, no, I'm fucking with Rich Homie. And he like, bro, he can't do these things that Future do, so I really sat down and started listening to Future, and my nigga Future is the vibe of the music industry. In my opinion, he's the vibe of the music industry. Like, he gives you how to feel this year. For the past, I'll say this year and last year was the 2 years that he really kind of, he slowed down and all the younger dudes taking up. But it was like a little 5-6 year period. Future was the hottest nigga besides Drake. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, in some periods, even hotter sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So hot they had to work together.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like all his music, it give you that vibe. Like, what's that shit? They got blood on the money and I still count it. They got blood on the money and I still count it. I'm like, it's not even what he's finding ways to sum up all your emotions in one sentence. Because I notice a lot, like me, I'll give you a whole 16 and break it down. Future will say one bar and I'll be like, God. I'm like, I feel the fuck out of that. Like, what he say on that what is that shit? Beast Mode 2? Oh, y'all gotta get on that, because he said, what he say? Lord knows what he say? I pray I forgive my dad, because I ain't turned out to be average. He say, all the days, what he say? All the days you lied to me, you gave up on my arteries. I was such a worried child, just wanted you to be a part of me. Fish scale apartments made a man out of me. Sleeping on the carpet made a man out of me. I'm like, woo, this nigga, fuck that, my nigga. Like, I'm feeling that shit in my soul, my nigga. Like, that's the vibe I'm trying to give a nigga. Like, I don't want to just rap and you just be like, oh, it's catchy sometimes, but I want to rap and you don't even think about me. Think about yourself. Like, damn. Like, damn, like, that's what I'm going through. You forget about I'm rapping it. You just get to reminiscing.
I'm the man, yeah. I twist up my fingers in the folds. Niggas insecure, I can't even talk about my goals. She gon' pull up on me in the Mozzie. Rich niggas, I been bumping that Roddy. Let's at Oakland, I'm trying to meet Ghazi. Get that money and bleed these hoes. When it's good, I be putting it up. Making sure I don't need these hoes.
Like, damn, you think about what you done been through. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the vibe I be trying to give, you feel me? So I be trying
you saying, Future, it kind of do make sense now. Because you learned how to take words out of your bars. You used to put too many words in your bars.
Yeah.
And then you had started learning how can I still say this, meaning this, without saying all of it.
Exactly.
Is what I started peeping.
And that's like a tip I got from Future. Because I feel like because at first I felt bad. Because I used to be like, I would listen to artists. Like, I'll tell you, I'm an introvert. So when I grew up, when I was a kid, I couldn't like all the kids around the neighborhood, they can go outside. I'm talking like when I was in 3rd grade, my friends had pistols, drugs. They was having sex. Like I'm saying, it's weird now because like I was like in the 3rd, 4th grade, but it was cracking. But I wasn't allowed to do the same things. Like I gotta be in by the streetlights. Ain't no hanging out around. So I had to go and venture out off the porch on my own. You know what I'm saying? Didn't nobody pull me off or like come with me. I really jumped off because I wanted to be off. Because like you know what I'm saying. So I wasn't like rest in peace my granny. Like she was like that. I grew up in my granny house, so we didn't get to. You had to take your ass home. If you wanted to go somewhere, you had to ask. But most of my friends I grew up with didn't have to ask shit. I'll be at their house. They go right outside. I'm like, nigga, you ain't gonna ask. You ain't got your mama, nigga. They like, nigga, you feel me? It's good. You feel what I'm saying? All I'm doing is listening to music. Listening to music. Just listening. I've always been like a good listener. You know what I'm saying? So I take pieces from every artist and be like, Future do this. Pac do this. Like my aggression, I feel like that come kind of like from Pac and 50 Cent. I kind of get it from them. And then when I do my melodies, I kind of studied Future, and then I studied so many different artists. I done studied any artist that come out that's really, really big like that. I study them, and I'll never like make a song and try to sound like no artist. Cause me personally, since I came out, I always feel like I have a unique style. Like I don't feel like you can put my music next to anybody's song and say it sound like that. Because I make sure I want to create a vibe that ain't been heard. Like I don't feel like it was ever a trap heart. I don't feel like it's a song I can say sounded like that. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to create my vibe, because then I feel like that's the Vegas vibe. Because I'm from Vegas and I'm doing it originally from what I've been through, from where I grew up. So I feel like if I just come original with my own style, that's a Vegas sound. Like any artist, as long as you putting the pieces to the puzzle together yourself and making your own cake, you know what I'm saying, then that's a Vegas sound. As long as you from here and it's really you. You ain't trying to, because it's artists out here that be trying to copy, trying to sound like Cali and all that. And don't get me wrong, sometimes we sound like Cali a little bit, but it's totally different. You know, that sound they got is real strong. They got that real strong. You can't deny it when it's LA artists or Oakland artists. You can hear it. So we don't have that same sound out here. Like if you from here, you know we don't too much. All our songs, they songs is kind of like a lot of Cali, like a lot of party. DJ Mustard, that type, like that bouncy. It's gonna be on some gangster shit, but y'all gonna be able to vibe to it, like on some old school, you know, ride in the Cadillac. You know what I'm saying?
Still gonna crip walking.
Yeah. Out here it's different. It's like I feel like our shit. I don't know how y'all feel, but I kind of feel like most of Las Vegas that I know originates some part from the South.
Oh, definitely.
Like, because a lot of them from Cali, but I feel like Vegas is way more the South than any other part of the world. You know what I'm saying? Because my whole family from the South. Yeah. From Louisiana to Texas to Houston. My whole family, after my mama, everybody else from way down there. You know what I'm saying? After that, so my generation is basically the first, second generation to actually even be from here. All our whole families, like all my niggas, all my family from hoods and all that, like all our people from the South, you feel me? They all from the South, so I feel like we got that Southern vibe in us, because when we go to other states, they tell me that I sound like I'm from the South. Like when I go to Cali, they be like, y'all sound, we were just in LA, they was like, bro, y'all from the South? We're like, nah, nigga, we from Vegas. Like, but you can kind of hear it because we grow up in houses with Southern accents. We eating Southern food, we got Southern traditions, we growing up on Southern morals. You know what I'm saying? So our heart is in the South. That's why I relate to Future so much, because I got that Southern, you know, in me type shit.
I think that's a lot of people in Vegas. Vegas is a melting pot. You know what I'm saying? Because we are a tourist city. So we get so much in one thing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, when I go to school I'm with all black people. Like, you know, it's Asians. We got Asian homeboys, Mexican homeboys. We got
hella Mexicans. My first best friends was Mexican.
That's the North.
Oh God.
That's the North. That's what you get.
It ain't even that many black people in Vegas. That's what we get twisted. It ain't even that many black people out here.
No, yeah, you get certain shit. So like you said, it's from the South. Like us growing up, we ate Sunday dinner every Sunday at Granny's house. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Southern tradition. Every Sunday we go to Granny's house and we eat, we sit down. You know, before we eat, they gotta pray. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, we get a lot of.
You gotta eat all that shit. You know, when you're young, eat all that shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to eat it, or I'll make you eat it. Straight up, like couldn't waste no food, nigga. We come from that same way they was raised. We was raised on the same doctrines, bro.
And that's what we get when it come to our music. Like you said, your style is unique and your style is to you. When a motherfucker hear Greez, they know who it is. That's Greez. You know, whenever they come up on you, whatever part of Greez they found. You know, we got up on you on Jungle Book.
Right.
There's probably other people didn't find you until, like you say, some people found you Fake Smoke. Some people found you when you did other shit. Some people probably found Kobe and was on that. It's just everybody found a different part of Greez but you still give you in every track, and I think that's the most important. Like when I hear Greez, I feel like I'm getting a piece of Greez. I'm not getting these other niggas or something like that. Yeah. I'm not getting a story from another nigga. Like
exactly.
Pac, like when you bring up Pac is one of my favorite rappers, and like you said, the aggression and all that is there. But Pac told niggas like, I'm giving you my homeboy story because they don't know how to give it to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But Greez is giving you Greez's story.
Facts. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's the thing that get misconstrued in the city a lot. Like nobody really, we all know each other, but it's always a question. Like, man, is this nigga, what this nigga even on this? Like you always got a question. Even when we hear artists in the industry, we like, nah, y'all niggas living like y'all really had 10 bricks. You got 10 bricks right there. Like, you feel me? Like, but it's like I feel like with me, I grew up in so many places. Like I'm from the north. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see the west side till 2008. Like I literally never went, barely ever over to Losi Hill. You know what I'm saying? I was in the north. Like, you know, you go over, once you pass Losi, then you headed out towards the other way. You know what I'm saying? So I got kicked out of like Monaco and Jim Bridger, and they sent me, she was like, my mom was like, I'm like, send me to Montoba. She like, no, I ain't sending you to Montoba. I'm like, why? My sister being so messy. She like, that's where all his friends go. She like, no, I'm not sending you there. She like, you want to be from E-Dub? I'm not sending you there. I'm sending you to West. And I just did a whole, I'm like, West? I'm like, all I think in my head, that's the Gerson niggas. What you on? Like, I'm like, I don't even know none of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm a kid, but I know the geography of my city. So I'm like, why would you send me to West? I'm like, out of all places, like, you tripping, like. And she was dead ass. She like, I don't care what you talk about. You going to West Prep. So I'm like, damn. So once I finally get to West, but my personality, how I am, like, everywhere I go, I get love. Like, you can't fake love. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way how I can go in every neighborhood in the city and there's guys I can genuinely say I love him. He can genuinely say, I love Greez. Like, from every damn near, I would say 75% of the neighborhoods in Vegas is somebody from there that I could say, like, my nigga, I grew up with him. He know me from a small fry. From the view, they could vouch and say, no, he was really selling dope when he was 13. Like, they can vouch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I grew up with a lot of niggas from the Dust. You know what I'm saying? I grew up with a lot of niggas from 40 Block, a lot of niggas from Gerson. You know what I'm saying? So when I left the North, I kind of, once I went to West, I'm leaving school from West. This is my first kind of getting freedom because I went to Jim Bridger and my granny lived across the street. So it's school home. You ain't going nowhere else. So when I got to the West, that's when I opened up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get no demo in no gangster shit or no hustling in the North, honestly. You know what I'm saying? This was all my family. I'm with my family, you know, when me and all the E-Dub niggas, we used to go to the church, New Antioch, to link up. Like, it's just love. It's so much love in the North. You know what I'm saying? But when I got to the West, okay, it's time to show your demo. Yeah, it's different. You gotta put your demo down, because I don't gotta put my demo down in the point every day, because these my dogs, we chilling, we drinking, we hanging out. You know what I'm saying? But when you get to the West, I'm the only nigga here from hoods. Every neighborhood I hung out in on the West, I was the only nigga over there from hoods. Like, so as a kid, I'm a kid though. You know, it's different. Like, if you're an adult and you don't know nobody, it's different. But as a kid, you know, you get welcomed everywhere when you're a child. So I hung out in every single neighborhood and built relationships with everybody, so I can, it's like niggas that can vouch for me when I make my songs, like when I made Gangland.
True bangers, can't forget about my folks heavy, and my big cousin Blue Angel. See this North shit go way back, I can't say enough, I need 8 tracks. Whole lot of weight on my shoulders, just to carry that you need 8 backs. I ain't see the West till the 8th grade, I was in the view on Ingolstadt, dawg. By 16, I was serving fiends, me and Darth Bell was buying 8 balls. Main rider with the purple on him, he got haters, then I'm serving on him. He went to jail and left 3 heats, me and Avery went and put 30s on him.
There's so many niggas that can vouch for, oh yeah, he dead ass serious. Because I'm naming the West Side niggas, I'm naming the View niggas, I'm naming the North niggas. They can all say like, no, that's for real. He really, I was there. And when I say like, if I name a gun, somebody knows what I'm talking about. Or if I name a certain address, a house, I ain't just saying that we was really doing that. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that's, like with you, that's what it is. And like you say, you know, like, being from Vegas, like being in Vegas, and then gang banging. Being from hoods is different.
Yeah, it's different for sure.
It's different because we the only. Like, this is the only. And like you said, when you go somewhere else, it's like you the only nigga from hoods. Like, no matter where you went, you was the only one in a certain era.
Right. Coming up, man, if you said you was from the North, people think you're a Crip.
Facts. But shit, when you said I was from the North, what I remember, bro, this is honestly how I feel. When I was coming up 07 and up, once I hit the West Side, it was like every time I say I'm from E-Dub, because you know I'm giving it up. Like that's why they respect me too. They can honestly say, man, that nigga's 12, 13, he been giving it up. Like that nigga ain't trying to hang out with these niggas, say he from over there. Yeah, I'm over here, I'm selling dope in the View because they taught me how to sell dope. First people that gave me something and helped me make money. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that my love for the View is deep, you know what I'm saying? Because it's people over there that seen me coming up and was like, showed me love and told me what to do with my money and told me, they really gave me that, you know, that vibe. So, you know what I'm saying? I grew up in all these different places, but it was like the love is real. And you know what I'm saying? This shit is not, you can't fake that shit in none of these. Like, you know, you can fake friendships and all that, but when them niggas going for you, when them niggas vouching for you, you can't fake that. Because, you know, neighborhoods is picky. They be, because even in these neighborhoods that I got love for, it's always one or two niggas that's like, man, y'all with the slob, nigga. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they ain't gonna say it to me, but it's just how it is. Just like if I got my friends and I'm over in a point or I'm over, it's gonna at least be one person that's like, man, this nigga Greez got this nigga over here. But it's still gonna be all love. You know what I'm saying? For the majority, it's gonna be love because they can relate and say, yeah, I know him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, facts. Being an artist, you need that. And I would tell any artist this. Being an artist, especially in this city, you need that because you promoting music. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you've been a hustler your whole life.
Facts.
When I'm hustling, I can't be like, oh, I'm not going to say you this because whatever, unless you just nickel and diamond. But you know, once you start growing in the hustling, like once you get over, you sold dope. So once you get over that quarter piece and you at the next thing, it's like, I can't really just only sell to these crackheads in this neighborhood. Like, I got to get off move around.
Because I done had niggas on the west side, like, I done had niggas on the west side stop selling me dope and all that because they find out where I'm from. They like, nah, we ain't fucking with it. Like, I done had niggas just cut me off, stop answering my phone. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, niggas that I'm giving niggas thousands. You know how it is when you playing with hard drugs. I'm giving niggas thousands a day. And I'm like, how you turning that down? But it be so deep for niggas, they be, no, I'm not helping no North nigga get on, nigga. Like, that's what they be on. Like, when I first hit the West, like, everybody used to be like, when I tell them I'm from the North, they be like, damn, you from the North. And then it just always like, you know what I'm saying? To my knowledge, everybody used to hate the North.
Fact.
I feel like we was most hated. Everybody hated the North. When you say Northtown, they'll fuck with a nigga, they'll fuck with a buster for they fuck with the North nigga. Like, I feel like I helped change that narrative, you feel me? Because I feel like I was one of the only artists to really, like, even when I did that Gangland, I showed everybody love. Everybody was beefing with that shit. Gangland was a beef song. I came on, nigga, I said, nigga, welcome to Civic Center. I got my niggas in the View. I got my niggas over here. My cousin from Donna. Like, just know I'm really from the city. If we talking about gangland, I'm talking about gangs in our land. Like, I'm tapped in with these people, and I feel like I was the only one that gave it, like, just a real overview, a look at the city. Everybody else was just, you know, beefing, and that was cool, but I wanted to give them a real insight, you know what I'm saying? Because now, I feel like, now, the North, I'm going to keep it real. When you talk about, like, not even on no game shit, but when you talk about Bloods in the city, like, our name coming up first, man. Okay. Like, no disrespect to nobody, but when you, like, with shit that's going on, they want to come join the hood niggas. When they come in the club, they want to come hang with the hood niggas. Like, y'all know when we be in the club, everybody want to come join up. They like, nigga, y'all, but it wasn't like that at first. We used to be the outsiders, like, you know what I'm saying? Now, everybody's, especially the West Side, everybody's embracing everybody now. Like, it's love.
Everybody,
you know what I'm saying?
That's why, like, I feel like you couldn't deny Greez. Like, motherfuckers couldn't deny you because, like, I remember being in the studio with Blue Angel and him being like, oh, Greez my little people.
Yeah.
Like, that nigga hard. You know what I'm saying? So it was like,
rest in peace.
Everybody, rest easy, Blue Angel. It was like, motherfuckers have to bring up Greez. I don't care where you from. You know what I'm saying? When I sat down with Bay Blue, he was like, man, one nigga that I will work with is Greez. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we actually got a song together. We didn't do it together, but it was my partner, Jay Reddy. I had got on the song for him, and he had went and got him on the song. When he first did it, somebody called me and was like, I don't know if Loft told me, somebody told me, like, hey, you got a song with and I'm like, no. He like, yeah, you do. I don't remember who it was. It was one of the homies. And I'm like, what you mean? So I finally listened to the song. I called him. I'm like, Jay Reddy, bro, why you didn't tell me you put him? He like, bros, I ain't think y'all knew each other like that. I'm like, no, I don't know him like that. I don't have no personal issues with him, but you gotta make sure you tell me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just politics. You know, and I was young too, so I cared at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because it still ain't I don't got no personal beef with him. Like, man, when the nigga dropped that 18 months, I'm not finna lie to you, my nigga. I was bumped that because I'm out on bail. I don't really know what you thought, but you better know that you're playing with the boss. Like, nigga, I was fucking with you. You gotta think that's my Blue Angel, my cousin. So if I go to my cousin's house, that's what they bumping. I go to my auntie house around the corner on Donna. That's what they bumping. So of course I done heard it. Nah, you can't deny good music. I don't care what you say. It's niggas that you can hate them to death. But when a song is good, man, music is good.
That's
man.
why
You can't
niggas
deny
don't.
that shit.
That's
man.
why niggas don't leave you out the conversation. Niggas don't leave Greez out the conversation. You're not leaving. No, I don't care where you from. You're not leaving this nigga out the conversation.
I just feel like I'm one of the only artists to really go to, like, branch out and go to be in all these neighborhoods, shout them out, show love. Everybody else be one track minded.
Fact.
But also it's because how everybody grew up too, because honestly a lot of people just, like, so I can say I know my homies for sure, like a lot of my homies been in one area and ain't with none of this other shit.
Fact.
Ain't with none of it. I can say niggas I grew up with to this day and they still not on
They
that.
ain't
Like
trying to hear that
they
shit.
don't want it. I be like, bros, come to the spot. Bro,
Yeah,
baby, you live too far, bro. I'm like, bro, 20 minutes. Like, they be like, nah, my nigga, come down here.
They be stuck
You
in
feel
the
me?
environment.
So I feel like I was one of the first artists to really, like, not necessarily do music, but I got these stories that I could share with everybody from these neighborhoods. And these niggas from these neighborhoods can say, and he was there, he was over there. Like, that's why the block fuck with me. They can honestly say they seen me growing up over there.
And
you know what I'm saying?
You a loyal nigga. You don't leave. From what I noticed, like with your music and everything, you don't leave your soil. Even when you and Cross first started rapping, you didn't be like, oh, I'm millionaire mindset.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No matter who you around, you're like, I'm holding the wall.
Forever.
You know?
Deep as a motherfucker. Like, shout out to my boy Walton Dollars. Them like big bro to me. Like, they like mentors that I had growing up. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't even actually there that day. It was just my circle of friends that I was hanging out with. Because actually I was with it's like how I met everybody. My partner from the block, he lived in the View. So that's how I got cool with everybody in the View, because his grandma lived over there. So I'm over there politicking with them, we chilling. And then a guy that a dude that's like one of my best friends now from the View, he introduced me to Maserati. So he introduced me to Maserati, then Maserati introduced me to his group, you know what I'm saying? So I never really ventured off and just met people. It was like somebody that I got love for introduced me to who they got love for, and it kind of meshed, and I feel like that's how it worked organically, you know? So they had I wasn't actually there that day, but they was all in the studio. He was like, man, y'all little niggas bad. He was like, man, I'm finna call y'all hole in the wall gang, nigga. Y'all like hole in the wall. And then the homies, like, they came to me the next day, like, we was young, we like 15, 16, so they like, niggas hole in the wall gang. So I'm like, okay, so we took it serious immediately, because that was like big bro, you know? So, you know, when your big brother tell you something, you happy, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, we really looked at it like, we third generation hole in the wall, because it was like, it's different stories of hole in the wall. Las Vegas, hole in the wall gang actually come from Las Vegas. Yeah. It was the mobsters, it was a group of mobsters, hole in the wall gang. They used to cut a hole through the side of the bank and blow it, and go straight into the vault. And they was called the hole in the wall gang, because they was blowing straight through the vault, and they was doing this for a minute. It was all in the newspapers. You know, if you Google it, it'll tell you. And then it was before them. Hole in the wall was back when it was like the old Western, and California wasn't all the way built. You had to go through like a passageway in the mountains to get to different states and shit, to Nevada and here. Through that passage, it was like a little hangout, and it was where all the criminals used to meet up. Like, they wasn't part of the same gangs, but it was the only safe place between Cali and a lot of other places. So when they on their way to do their shit, they all come here, and it's like, yeah, y'all finna rob something, we on the other city finna rob something, but we just chilling here, and we gonna get up out of here. But we all communicating, and we good. So that's how hole in the wall was too. Like, it's so many of us from different neighborhoods, but we came together, and you know, we came together real strong, you know what I'm saying? Because we got niggas from everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Like, from everywhere, and we all came together with my niggas from the APs, Every Park. I don't know if you heard of it or not, but it's like, it's my Every Park niggas, and then you got a couple niggas from Gerson, then you got me and Pulla, you know, you got some View niggas, you got niggas from all these different places, and we all came together and meshed, you know what I'm saying, and just made it work. But me and Maserati, we was on the rap shit when we first met. My partner actually had a studio, my partner from the View, Monty, had a studio at his house, and he brought Maserati, and he told Maserati, he like, man, I'm finna bring the homie to the studio. And he like, who? He like, man, Greez, man. He like, where he from? He like, from Doug. I feel like, man, come on, man. I'm like, why you bringing the nigga? Then he tell me, I get there, I'm like, where this nigga from? He like, this nigga from the squad. I'm like, bro, like, You just got me around anybody. We was young, you know. So we did a song and shit. Then I was they had took me home. They dropped me off, and his stepdaddy was in the front, Maserati, and he was like, man, who house? He's like, ain't this Sarah house? He looked at the back seat, he like, what up? Turned out the dude that his mom was messing with, my mom used to mess with when I was young. So he know me. He like, man, what's good? I'm like, what's good? So we was already locked in, you know what I'm saying? So I still mess with him. So me and Maserati was like locked in. Like I moved out my grandma's house when I was like 16, 17, like right when I was finna turn 17, and I moved in with him. So I was going to school from his house. He went to prison, and I was living with his mom and helping out with them over the next couple years till he got out of jail, you know what I'm saying? So we was locked in from the beginning, but we was the only ones that really was rapping. Trelly always did beats. Trelly rapped too. He cold too. Yeah. But me and Trelly actually went to school, to music school for we went to IADT, International Academy of Design and Technology. Yeah. I dropped out, but great thing I brought him with me because I'm like, you gotta come with me. Yeah. I dropped out. He graduated. He got a bachelor's degree right now. He a certified engineer. He just did the sound for the president. When the president just came out here last month, so he did the sound and like he got a great job. So it worked out. You know what I'm saying? So Hole in the Wall, we all just I wouldn't say it was like I don't know gangbang shit, but it kind of turned to that because we all just brothers. We chilling because we wasn't on that. It wasn't no gang. We was always telling them this ain't no gang. This ain't that. You can't get put on like this. Just our brothers. Yeah. But then you got groups starting to diss us. And they making up disses and shit. And I'm like, damn, we just came out yesterday. Like, how the fuck y'all already dissing? But we went viral. We made a whole video on YouTube. Like, we went viral. They was making posts saying, Hole in the Wall gang cannot come to our parties. All y'all do is start shit. We actually started going to parties at one point, putting holes in the wall. Like, that's what we was on. Like, boom, somebody gonna punch a hole through the wall before we leave. Like, when we come through, they used to know, like, when we come through, it's gonna be ratchet as hell. We finna come through, we finna come to a peaceful environment and create chaos out of love. For real. Chaos out of love. We finna come through and shut shit down, you know what I'm saying?
So what can people expect next from you? As far as, like, I know earlier you said you was doing a mixtape.
Shit, man.
Some visuals and shit.
I've been shooting a lot of videos, man. Okay. I've been going in on the videos. I actually got to holler at Lonnie about that, cause I gotta. I'm trying to do visuals to every song. Like that's what I'm on now.
Next project?
Yeah, I gotta do visuals to every song, cause I got a whole project, No Limit Foes. But I'm in the mood to like. I feel like, man, I know the fans want the music, so I kind of want to drop singles with videos, so then I can get them the song, the video. I can, certain ones that I really like, I can pay to get it on the radio. I can really push them one by one and give them the full feel of each song instead of dropping the tape. You might listen to some of it. If you ain't heard of me, you only gonna listen to one or two songs unless somebody that fuck with me really make you listen. So if I drop singles, I'm not really pushing it all in their face because I was gone. I'm looking at it like I was gone for a little minute. I don't want to just come back like, oh, I just been working and you should just listen to me. No, I want to give y'all something to give you a reason to listen to me. When I first was coming out, they was like, bro, you don't have no visuals. Nobody knows what you look like. You know what I'm saying? So now I just been making dummy visuals, trying to put visuals to everything, attach a name with the face, you feel me? Because that's really where the internet going right now, videos.
Facts. With your No Limit Foes, that come from Master P, I'm guessing.
Kind
of thing.
It's motivated by Master P for sure because I really was just looking for a new Instagram name a couple years ago, and I'm just like, what? Because I always, like in music, I always call myself Foes. You know, I got the Foes on my face, like I always call myself that. So I'm like, man, this shit ain't no limit. It's really like it was like a Master P motivation. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't, because you know, Lil Herb, they got the No Limit shit too. Mm-hmm. But it was more Master P than that. You know what I'm saying? Right. It was like I'm like No Limit Foes. That sound crazy. And then I kind of started sticking with it, like. And now, I love the name, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's the field that I'm in now, like how I get my money and all that. I feel like that's who No Limit Foes is like an alias for me. You know what I'm saying? Just like Greez's Bryce, that was an alias for that point in my life. Right. At that point in my life, it was on some Greez's Bryce, and I feel like I'm sacrificing a lot. I feel like they're not understanding me, but I feel like when I make these sacrifices, they'll feel me. So it's like, that string me up, you feel me? Because I'm going to do what I do, and y'all going to judge, y'all going to say what y'all going to say. But at the end of the day, you going to feel me when this shit over, just like they felt Jesus, you feel me? And then with No Limit Foes, it's like I'm showing them, like, I don't got no limit. I can do it all. I don't got, ain't no box on me, you know what I'm saying? There's literally no limits, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm glad, man. I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad that you back on it. I'm glad that you back taking it serious. You know, you're gonna be more consistent, you feel me? And before we shake, we got this segment called Game for Lames. Give the people some game you didn't acquire in life for that you feel to help guide you the way you're going right now?
I would say, honestly, something that I learned that's super dear to me is like, don't burn bridges. Like, don't burn your bridges because you're going to need to cross them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Because in the day, we live in an environment where everybody, as soon as they don't like something, they burn a bridge, they fuck it up. It could be over $2. It could be over an argument. It could be over a bitch. We burning bridges because he don't agree with me or she don't agree with me. We don't got to agree with each other, but I can respect you for what you do. You know what I'm saying? Because once you burn a bridge with a real person, you might not never get another person like that. So I try to make sure I keep all my connections, all the people that I got love for and show me love, even from all these different neighborhoods. I make sure I keep my bridges clear because the only way I can honestly say I wouldn't be here today if certain niggas from the West Side did not do for me what they did for me. They gave me opportunity where I didn't. Nobody else from where I'm from, they would have gave the opportunity to. It was me specifically. They just like, I fuck with you, you know. So when you got people like that cared about you before you had anything and wanted you with something, you gotta keep them bridges. The people who loved you, you know, because a lot of people get I don't want to say get big, but everybody gets some money, and it's like they start burning the bridges with people. Like, don't get me wrong, I cut people off too. You know what I'm saying? If I feel like you're not healthy for me, you know what I'm saying. But as far as bridges, I'm gonna keep them open. If I can sever a relationship peacefully and we have understanding, we can always come back. But I never try to just let something be negative. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never try to let that be the case because it's gonna be a time when I need something, or it don't even gotta be nothing physical. I could just need your ear. You know what I'm saying? I can want to talk to you. It's people that I have friendships with I have them. This is my friend because I just holler at him. I politic to him. I vent to him. And I might not talk to this nigga for 2 weeks, but when I call, he ready to listen. Like, bro, what you been through? You know what I'm saying? I might have another friend that this my parties. When I go to parties, I'm with these niggas. And then when I go to the studio, I got. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have your certain people in your life that play their role, and you don't want to ruin them roles. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I love you for that, and I'm gonna always keep them bridges open. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to burn no bridge. So that's the game I would say. Don't burn no bridge. If a motherfucker got you, if they ever had you, do what you got to do to keep that bridge open. Unless a motherfucker just, you know, common sense of a motherfucker just ain't showing you no love or don't fuck with you. But in general, most of the time,
unless they burn the bridge.
Yeah, unless they burn the bridge. But don't burn no bridge that was yours to keep.
Coming through, Greez.
Yes, sir.
Let them know where to reach you at again before we
I'm on Instagram, No Limit Falls. I'm on Facebook, Greez Blanko. Twitter, No Limit Falls. Feel what I'm saying? On YouTube, No Limit Falls. So let's get it. You dig? Hole in the wall.
Go hard for this. How the fuck you winning if you lost to this? Niggas think they own, so they get off in this. It's easy to get crossed to this. On TOP, we gon' get far from this. Step up in they town and burn it down like I'm a horse.